Hello world and all who inhabit it. Some of you might know me. This is not my usual YouTube channel. I have been invited onto this channel, this brand new channel, which you should check out, to talk about eating disorders. I have a lot of experience with eating disorders. I have an eating disorder. It comes and goes, and I'm gonna try to be very delicate with how I talk about it. I'm gonna be very candid, and that's gonna be an interesting experience for both of us. I would say that you should turn off this video if you're gonna be triggered, but knowing the nature of eating disorders, I know that there are going to be people who click on this video just for that purpose, just to try to look for tips, tricks, anything that they can. I know that because I have done that, and that is why eating disorder memoirs sell. That is why eating disorder documentaries are watched. People with eating disorders have this really unique, we do this really strange thing for an addict to do. Most addicts want to get better, and sometimes we do want to get better, and then other times we don't, and we will pick up tips from anywhere and everywhere. Literally, if somebody is thinner than me and I hear them say, I don't really like yogurt, my brain will like automatically go, yogurt, bad. It's called safe foods and unsafe foods. For me, that means foods that I need to throw up and foods that I don't need to throw up. It's super strange to say that so candidly because that list is always changing and it doesn't really make much sense to anyone but me. One day, bread is fine, bread and pasta are fine. And the next day, they're not. No real reason, it's just how the disorder works. I have gone on and off with bulimia for, since I was 19, so that's about 6 years. Sometimes it's very intense and active. Other times it's just kind of a bleep at the back of my brain. It's very hard for me to eat anything without thinking about when, if, where, how I can get rid of it. There's also the whole stereotype of, I don't look like I have an eating disorder. And what I mean by that is I don't look emaciated or underweight. I'm not underweight. I have never been underweight. Bulimics in particular and individuals with otherwise specified feeding or eating disorder don't look sick. It depends on the doctor whether or not they'll take that seriously. I've had doctors both say, take that very seriously, and I've had doctors who were like, oh, you're fine. You're only downing a box of laxatives a day. You're okay. I think that's very interesting, like the value that even the medical community places on how thin you are, because there's this very false belief that if you're not thin, you're not in any danger, even if you're having heart palpitations and passing out, fatigued, and all these, like warning signs that are like, these are, you're probably not in a good place. Heart feels like it's skipping beats. If you have an eating disorder, there's never an enough. There's a thought in the back of my mind of, you might have a heart attack. And then there's another thought of, but there's food in your stomach. And it's super weird and it doesn't make sense. It goes against every survival instinct that we have. I think what's another interesting point is eating disorders are way more common in Western culture than they are in other cultures. And I think that's really important to point out, because there's definitely a cultural component that we need to be looking at. And some of that's had a lot of pushback, which I've been very pleased about. There was that really annoying, catchy song by Meghan Trainor. It was a good song where she said, I'm all about that bass. And she's talking about having pride in her body even though she's plus size. I think that's very important. So here is a little snippet of what it's like in my head. Say I walk into a Panera Bread. The smell is overwhelming. My first thought is there's a little voice in my head ticking, bread bad, bread bad, bread bad. And I go up to the register, and after trying to, first I look at the menu and I think, I go through my foods and I think throw up, not throw up, throw up, not throw up. And then I go up to the register and I order tomato soup, half a grilled cheese sandwich. One of the sides could be an apple, but I think bread, I want bread. I really want bread. I crave bread. There's that little voice in my head going, bread's bad, like a little alarm. Alarm gets louder, louder, louder. And I take the food back to my table and I sit there and I eat it and I feel watched. I feel like everyone's looking at me. Anyone who glances at me, I think they're like, this thought goes through my head of they're thinking, oh my God, she's so fat. She's eating bread in a sandwich. She's eating bread in a sandwich. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I try not to look at people. I sit there and I think, do I go to the bathroom and get rid of this? Do I keep it? Do I get rid of the bathroom? Do I keep it? Do I? And that's the next debate in my head. And that debate's been going on the entire time. The alarm goes, no, 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 no. And that same alarm is the alarm that makes me go, food, 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 food. I don't have normal hunger signals. I don't respond to them in a normal way. I don't think about food in a healthy way. I think of food as dangerous and not dangerous. It's so strange. Like, you're on a submarine underwater and the pressure is all around you and the alarm is going off and you need to get off the ship, but the only way out is to drown. That's really what it feels like. And you have to wait for the submarine to resurface for you to feel better so you can breathe again. Those are my thoughts on eating disorders. Those are just some general thoughts. I could go on about this for hours. Be sure to check out the rest of this channel, the podcast Pushing Back the Shadows, and the blog as well. They're great people. And I hope that this led some insight. I hope that for a person with an eating disorder, it wasn't in any way, didn't get those thoughts going, because I know those thoughts don't stop, but I don't want to make them louder. Have a good day. Thank you.